Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your preview to the biggest game of the season, hands down, and possibly the biggest game of our last, 2, 3, 4 seasons perhaps? Because even last season, yes, we got to the last 16 of the Champions League, it wasn't expected that we were going to get past Bayern Munich. Let's have it right. We dreamt, we relied on 2012 and was like, they might be scared of us, but look what happened. We got absolutely decimated, and that was understandable considering the circumstances we were in. We had just served a transfer ban, we had no signings, we brought off some youth players, Frank Lampard was in his first year of management at Chelsea, all the circumstances were against us, and rightfully so, we got destroyed. So, that was expected. The circumstances now are a little bit different. And Atletico Madrid, as good as they are, and I truly believe alongside Bayern Munich, they are probably the most dangerous team in Europe. You could argue PSG are amongst that as well, but I truly believe Atletico have such a good balance in terms of defense and attack, and they're ruthless. They had a fantastic start to the season, and it's only recently they've dipped off a little bit. And their last game in the league has gone to proven for itself. They lost 2-0 at home to Levante, and I know this has worried quite a few Chelsea fans, because some Chelsea fans after the Southampton game, where we drew 1-1 when we didn't perform that great, all of a sudden are thinking, hey, if Atletico have lost in La Liga, hey, guess what? Charity FC. We're going to bounce them back up again. We're going to give them the boost that they need. We're going to hand them the first leg victory that they so desire, because we love helping teams out that are in need. I understand, but let's have it right, yeah? And this is where I'm going with this. Maybe Atletico are the Spanish Charity FC. Yeah, maybe, and them giving that result to Levante, maybe them struggling at times like we struggled at times, maybe we cancel each other out. You gotta look at the positives sometimes, you gotta look at the positives. Anyway, it's going to be a very interesting game. Before I get into all the detail regarding this fixture, I'm going to ask you guys, if you are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Let's get into today's nitty gritty. So, Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea, first leg, Champions League, taking place in Bucharest, which is good. We're not playing in Madrid because of restrictions and this, that and the other. We don't need to get into the detail, but we are playing in Bucharest, neutral venue for both Chelsea and Atletico. So the advantage is definitely in our hands. Now, in terms of the team that we have, Thomas Tuchel coming in, the impact that we've made, the fact we haven't lost the game under Tuchel yet, that is going to come at some point. I think we need to be realistic. We are going to lose a football match at some point. That's normal. That's logical. Don't go into a meltdown. Don't think the world's ending just because we've lost a match. Tuchel is going to lose games at Chelsea like any other manager in world football. So, don't put your expectations too high. But in this game, considering who we're playing against, and the fact that we have begun to show elements of a system that is starting to click, a way of playing that is starting to become fluent, we are picking ourselves up slowly but surely, and I truly believe under Thomas Tuchel and what he's trying to get our players to do, the signs are starting to show in a positive manner, and I'm very much looking forward to next season and how we're going to be playing then. But for this fixture, Atletico Madrid, we have to understand and we have to be realistic. Atletico are such a dangerous team. Such a dangerous team that possess so much solidity at the back where it's almost impossible to get through, and we know how Diego Simeone likes to set up. Very robust, very concrete defense, very, park the plane brick wall, you ain't getting past, whilst at the same time having the luxury in attack of a Luis Suarez, for example. It's unreal, and the impact that Suarez has had alone on that Atletico team, let alone Diego Simeone and how solid he's gotten his teams to play. But that is going to be very, very difficult for us to get past. Now, in terms of Chelsea, we have one issue. We have one issue that we cannot have against Atletico. which is the issue of not being clinical, the issue of not being able to do anything in the final third, the issue of not being able to combine passes, have interchangeability, move into good spaces and create loads of movement at a very high intensity, at a very fast pace, so the opponent finds it difficult to keep up. We need to play like that. We have to. We cannot not do that, because if not, Atletico's defense are going to be like this. Just be like, yeah, this is a piece of cake. This is nothing. We're not conceding today. Are you dumb? Honestly, the way we played against Southampton, that cannot happen. And I'm hoping that was a blip. And considering the squad that we have available and the players that have travelled, there is good news. There is one bit of bad news, but there is good news, and I'm going to get into it. So the team uses Thiago Silva. Unfortunately, he's missing out. He will not feature for the first leg. I expect him to be back for the second leg, so that's very good, and that will be at Stamford Bridge. So, more power to us at home. Christian Pulisic returns. Kai Havertz returns. They are both in the squad. They have both travelled to Romania. Aside from that, everyone else is fit. No one else is really absent, so that's good. It means we have more options. It means we have more players to go to, more ideas that we can consider in terms of who's going to start this one. And in terms of the starting 11, I've picked an 11 that I would go with, but I've also made a little amendment as to what I think is going to happen. So let's get into the starting 11 and who Thomas Tuchel should go with. Preferably, I would go with a 3-4-2-1 formation. Just like I said needed to be done in our last game. But that's only considering a certain player that I would want to see on the pitch that I don't think is going to be on the pitch. So I'll tell you exactly what I would do if I had it my way. And then I'll tell you towards the end what I think is going to happen or what should happen in the absence of this one player not actually starting the game. So Edouard Mendy in goal. Without question, our starting goalkeeper, number one goalkeeper. And for me, he starts. Back three of Azpilicueta, Christensen in the middle, and Antonio Rudiger. I think we need to go back to basics with this one because we introduced Zouma against Southampton. At times he looked solid and at times he looked open. The goal that Southampton scored was a combination of Zouma and Azpilicueta leaving too much space, but Azpilicueta was a little bit too far up the pitch. Zouma should have been covering, didn't allow the space. Minamino went in and scored. So, little errors like that. You do that with Luis Suarez, you're going to get killed. That's just the truth. So I would go back to basics in terms of the back three that have been utilised in games that we were winning and where we looked confident and good at the back. So I would go with Azpi, Christensen, Antonio Rudiger. In terms of our left wing back, I would stick with Marcos Alonso, and I know maybe a few of you will advocate for Ben Chilwell, but I truly believe that against a team like Atletico that I think are going to be more reliant on defending than attacking, instead of trying to press us, I do think that a Marcos Alonso could be an additional attacking influence and someone that can run in to assist our attack, and we know what he can do when he bombs into the box rather than just play as a traditional left-sided player that wants to cross the ball into the box. No, Marcos Alonso is able to be someone that has an attacking threat and actually take some shots when he enters the box. So I think that would be beneficial in comparison to Ben Chilwell, that I don't think is that type of player. For me, Marcos Alonso would start on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, as right wing-back, I'm starting Callum Hudson-Odoi there. Now, in regards to Callum Hudson-Odoi, I know there's been a bit of controversy over the last few days just because Tuchel took him off after half an hour, after bringing him on, right? It makes sense. It doesn't look good. But let's not kick up a fuss about this. This happens sometimes in football. It's standard. It can happen. And if a manager believes that a certain player isn't helping the team or isn't helping the system the way he wants to play, whether it's because of attitude or, lack of performance or tiredness or whatever the circumstance, the manager is well within his right to make that change as long as it doesn't create any politics or doesn't create any, big scandal at the club. And it hasn't. It's just the media that have tried to create something out of nothing here. Callum Hudson-Odoi will be playing tomorrow. And then that is going to silence everyone. So, look, it's a good test for Callum to see if he's good up there and if he can recover quickly, and I believe he can. I think he will, and I don't think any trust has been broken or anything like that. Come on, man. Just one decision in the game, and all of a sudden, Hudson-Odoi is going to leave Chelsea. Tuchel's dropped him forever. Get out of it. Hudson-Odoi for me, right wing back, I think is his best position so far under Thomas Tuchel, where he has the most influence. And I truly believe against an Atletico team that as much as they have a good, robust defensive unit, I think when they are looking to attack, it would be beneficial to have someone as quick and as dynamic as Hudson-Odoi to come back and defend with the pace and the energy and intensity that we know he has. So I would prefer Hudson-Odoi on that right-hand side that can defend and attack for days. Let's have it right. He has the capabilities to do that. So for me, he starts as right wing back. The two central midfielders in a pivot is where it's going to be a little bit tasty, because I know some of you are going to say, well, we're going to have to play Kante because he played really well against Southampton. And I've got nothing against Kante. You know me. Kante's Kante. I think he's amazing. However, I do think the balance that Jorginho and Kovacic have together is something that is going to help us against a Atletico side that I think are going to be trying to rely on a counter-attack. I do think they are going to be sitting deep, and I think that's going to leave a little bit of space for Jorginho, for example, to play the game that he likes to play and have the space in order to move around and utilise the ball. I do think with Kovacic alongside him, we've seen what they can do. I would prefer to have something as short as that. When you compare to the games that we've played recently with those two midfield, we've just looked really good. I just think it's the best we have at the moment. So I would go with Jorginho and Kovacic as the double pivot. Now, I would go with a 3-4-2-1. So that means two midfielders in front as 10s ahead of Jorginho and Kovacic. I would go with Mason Mount, who has been brilliant, and I'm going to talk about him in a sec, alongside Christian Pulisic. That would be my ideal, right? Now, I don't necessarily think Pulisic is going to start this one because he's only just come back from injury. He hasn't played yet. I don't think he's going to be thrown into this game starting from minute 1. So if I had it my way and Pulisic is 100% fit, ready to go, in form, is at the top of his game, for me he starts because of the creativity that he possesses and what he brings to the team in terms of dribbling, creating, getting into space, bringing attention away. I think he has all of those attributes to his game. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if Pulisic isn't going to be starting, much like I don't think Kai Havertz is going to be starting, I think they both might come off the bench, I would go with Mason Mount as the one and have two strikers up top where I feel we could have more of an influence in terms of scoring without Pulisic or Havertz on the pitch. Mason Mount has been brilliant, and he without question deserves to start. And I don't want to take anything away from him because I think he's been our best attacking midfielder. That's without question. However, I think it's testament to everyone else around him who should be playing better, I think. If Mason Mount is the best attacking midfielder at the club at the moment, I do think as someone that is still developing and someone that is still so young and someone that is still looking to grow, and we know Mason will grow, but realistically, there should be other experienced players already at that level. And I think that's testament to everyone around who isn't performing as well as they should be when you look at Mason Mount and you see him as your best attacking midfielder or best number 10. So, not taking anything away from Mason. He's done everything that he's required to do. I think everyone else around needs to step up their game. That's just the truth. So fingers crossed they will. Fingers crossed they will get better. When I look at Pulisic, I look at Havertz, I look at Ziyech. Those are players that need to up it. But Mason Mount in that 10, without question, he starts. And up front, for me, Timo Werner as left forward and Olivier Giroud as right forward. I do hope those two strikers up top are going to be enough to influence the game, to help us get bodies into the box and create chances. And I'm hoping the dynamic that Olivier Giroud possesses, whether it's in the air or whether it's on the ground, holding up the ball, linking up with other players and providing options, as well as getting into tight spaces and scoring where, you don't expect anyone to score. We know what Olivier Giroud can do when he creates something from nothing. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, because look, tomorrow against Atletico, we need all the luck in the world. That's without saying. And I think Pulisic alongside Mount with Timo Werner up top would probably be best in terms of the dynamic of the game, and having Pulisic run in behind defenders and create loads of havoc combined with Mount, combined with Werner, and utilize the speed that they would have. I think that would be beneficial, but without that, I don't really see how a Havertz or a Ziyech right now is going to influence the game in the absence of a Pulisic, where I look at Olivier Giroud, for example, and I think maybe him being up front would be the second best option, and switching it from a 3-4-2-1 to a 3-4-1-2 and hope that Giroud can do the business up front alongside Timo Werner. So that would be my starting 11. I've given you my preferable one and I've given you my realistic one. So let's see what's going to happen. That would be my starting 11. Now, in terms of a prediction, I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. When the game gets serious, it gets serious, and I have to be serious with you. I'm not going to give you a false, fake result just for the sake of it. I am going to be 100% honest. I think tomorrow is going to finish Atletico 1, Chelsea 1. I think it's going to be a draw. There is a chance we would lose. I'm not even going to cut away from that. There is a chance we will lose. Atletico are without a doubt one of the strongest teams in Europe. Are we there yet in terms of where we want to be? No. We're still developing. We're still growing. Thomas Tuchel is still looking to impose his footprint on the team. So we absolutely need to think about that and be very, very cautious. Hopefully not make any mistakes tomorrow, or any big ones for that matter. But realistically, there is a chance we could lose. However, I think we have what it takes. We have what it takes to get a result. We have the players, the manager, the system to get something from this game tomorrow. And hopefully on the back of a loss that Atletico have had against Levante at home, I'm hoping that has somehow done something to them psychologically. That would be fantastic. And tomorrow we take advantage of that. We have to be clinical. We have to take shots. We have to work the keeper. We have to be quick up top in the final third. We have to know what we're doing. As long as we do that, we'll be okay. But it's going to be imperative that we execute those chances and take advantage of any situation that may arise in the final third. Because if we don't, Atletico will punish us. So I'm going to go 1-1 for the sake of getting that away goal, bringing it over to Stamford Bridge, and hopefully we can finish the tie. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I would love to hear your opinions on the starting 11. How do you think we're going to play? Your score prediction, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. I will be doing a watch along for tomorrow's game. It's going to be the most nervous watch along I've ever done. So make sure you're tuned in for that one. I'm very much looking forward to it. Come on, Chelsea. Let's take it to Atletico. Let's show them what we got. Let's get a win. Fingers crossed. If we win, oh my God. Oh my God. But bring it on. Bring it on. Tomorrow is such a huge game. Let's go and do the business. Come on, Chelsea. We can do it. Let's get it. I'll see all of you tomorrow on the watch along. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Look after yourself. See you tomorrow. Take care and peace.